Well, I'm back out for part two of the brake job. It's been sunny all morning here. As you can see, there's lots of sunshine there. But as soon as I come out, the bloody rain starts. So anyway, the last time we looked at this, I'd taken the brake caliper mount off. And I'd just received a couple of packages. One was the new discs. These were seized on pretty solidly. So I've had a trusty mallet, 2 kilo mallet, so that's roughly 4.4 pounds. So that's coming off. I'll need to get a wire brush onto that maybe, give it a quick clean up. Yeah, there's lots of crap behind there. Thing is, it has been sitting for 2.5 years anyway. That feels a bit, I would say it feels kind of dry, so I don't know if there's going to be an issue with the bearing, but it doesn't feel particularly smooth to me. It's rotating fine, you know, it's free enough, but it does feel a little bit, you can hear it, does sound a little bit rough. So maybe there'll need to be a bearing fitted, but I'm not going to do that at this point in time. So next thing is I'll get a bit of a wire brush on there, and I'll put some grease on here, and I'll fit the new disc which is in the car. I've put some copper grease or anti-seize compound on. So as good practice, I've just double checked these discs at the same size, so same diameter. Same bolt hole configuration. So everything lines up. So theoretically that's all good. So I'm going to put the disc on, and then I'm going to go into the house and I'm going to get the replacement calipers. Well, these are the new to me anyway, calipers. Quite a difference. That's obviously an English caliper, and that is a Scottish caliper. So as far as I can tell, they look to be the same. The caliper mounting bracket looks the same, the holes are the same, but I mean this is from a 2006, this is from a 2005, so it should be the same. I've taken the bolts out. I know that in an ideal world you probably would put Loctite on these, but in Scotland with the corrosion, that's the last thing you need. Yeah, I understand fully, it's what you're supposed to do, you're supposed to lock them in, but here you're lucky to get the bloody things out. You can see this one was starting to get a bit chewed up, and I couldn't use a ring spanner on it. I had to use a hex deep dish socket. So I will be putting a little bit, just a smearing of the anti-seize stuff. I've never had one ever come out. I know there'll be people out there that are horrified, but as I say, in years, many years of doing this kind of job myself, I've never had a problem. Famous last words, of course. But so next thing is I'm going to mount this caliper as it is onto here and see how that goes. Well, that's the caliper mounted. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take out the slide pins and actually remove the caliper, and then I'm going to make sure these are all nicely greased up. Actually, funnily enough, now that I've put that disc on and I'm rotating it, that actually feels better, feels a lot better, but I'm not kidding myself that it's perfect, but it certainly feels actually smoother. So I'm gonna take off these. I think they're 10s or 12, something like that. And then I'm going to take the caliper off and I'm going to inspect the slide pins. Actually, you can definitely see that's moving very nice and freely, but whether or not it's well lubricated I don't know, but completely different to the ones that just came out. And the 12 mil bolts came out fine. Looks, I don't know if that's moisture on there or something, or grease. I'll need the spanner for that one. I actually see there's definitely grease on that one. Nothing much came off that. And they look in not too bad condition. This one's a little bit more corrosion on it, but I'll clean that off. I've got the wire brush. And as far as I can tell, the rubbers look pretty serviceable. So I've got some of this blue roll. I'll just take this through, I'll clean out, and I'll also clean inside the slide pins here and there. But yeah, that doesn't look too bad at all. So, clean the pins, clean the rubbers, clean out inside, and then grease up. I've given them a clean out in there. Same with this one. It's at a clean out. I'm not saying it's as clean as a whistle, but it's significantly cleaner than it started off. These have had a bit of a rub down, cleaned down. I don't know if that's wear marks or if that's normal, but well, they come off a 15-year-old car, so they may well be worn. This one was a bit rustier, but there's going to be grease going around that, so hopefully that'll stop that. And then this is the grease. I got this stuff same place as the Eicher. I think it was Euro Car Parts, unless it was Car Parts for Less, sister company of it. So I think it's a kind of silicone grease, which is meant to be good for the rubber, etc. So the next thing is I'm going to, as you can see, that's what I did. I just twisted that through the rubber. I'm going to do the same thing again with a fresh piece on this part and that part, and then I'll put the pins in. Well, I've greased up the two slide pins. I've also cleaned and then reattached the little bellows, and now it's time to put the slide pins in. Get that slipped over there nicely, so that's on clean. Let it move it. There's no hydro lock. Sometimes if you put too much grease on, you'll not be able to push it. And here's this one. Again, that's sealed nicely. So that looks okay. I'm going to put some gloves on again. I've mounted the old caliper, and then it's a 14mm nut, which is going to be this one. So the plan is I'm going to take this one off, remove the brake hose, which has obviously been cut off for convenience, and then I'm going to disconnect this one, pull the banjo bolt out, lift it up higher, put the new caliper on, and then connect it up, or that's the plan anyway. I skipped ahead here, so I've I've connected the hose. There seems to be a bit of torsion on the hose, so I had to take it off. I put it on one way and then I felt there was too much torsion on it, so then I took it off, and when you put it on you feel the torsion and then it goes on okay. So that's the obviously I'm going to have to compress the piston in. It's too far out. That shouldn't be a problem, hopefully. So I've fitted the pads. I've put some grease at the top here. These actually fitted in fine. Sometimes I find when I fit new pads I've actually got to file the ears down at each end to get them in, but these ones they went in actually pretty well. So I'm just going to see about pushing back that piston and then getting the caliper over the pads. That's the caliper back on. I have to say it's quite a significant difference the way it looks compared to the original. And this one's only a year older, but as I said before, that's the difference between Scottish weather, which is that one, and English weather, which is this one. So I'm going to put the wheel back on because they say, according to the weather forecast, it's going to rain at 4 o'clock, and it's now 25 to. So I'll do the other side weather dependent tomorrow, but I'll get this up. So there's a bit of brake fluid on the discs there. So these are my, well, we'll just say under £10, £9 something brake discs, and the pads were £14 something. And then this side, this hole, the caliper, the bracket, the pins, this was £20 delivered. So it's not too bad. It's going to be 68 quid to change the calipers, the bracket, the slide pins, the discs and the pads on the car. So that's really pretty much all the work I'm going to do to the car. Then I'm going to put it in for an MOT, see if it passes an MOT. Fingers crossed it does, or if it has things that needs to be done to it, it's not going to be too expensive. And then the next stage will be getting the interior of the car sorted out, because it's pretty bad, to put it mildly. But anyway, it was a free car, and I'm just going to see if I can make a cheap and cheerful runabout for hopefully about 100 quid. And then if that's good, I'll look at sorting out some of the other details on the car. But generally speaking, the bodywork seems to be pretty good. There is obviously corrosion underneath, but that can all get taken care of. I'll get something to put onto that. But the next job I'll do, see, I won't bother doing it just now. The next job will be to bleed the brakes. I'll wait till I've got somebody here, and I'll do that. Okay then. That's enough for now. End of part 2.